Hey guys, so this is the story of how I got the coronavirus. I won't bore you with the details, but long story short, I had to come home from where I was living in East Lansing to my hometown of Dearborn, which is located right in the middle of Wayne County, which is one of the hotspots for Michigan. Within the first week of being home, I contracted the disease and I actually went to a Walgreens that's now closed because all of their employees tested positive for the virus as well. My time at the hospital was very brief and yet still very anxiety inducing. I was able to go through a drive-through testing, so I actually didn't have to go in and expose myself to anyone who also was possibly positive for the disease. But that meant that I was kind of alone in all of this. And I had nurses coming up to my car and then leaving me for minutes and minutes on end, just waiting to see if I could even get tested. And actually, afterwards, I couldn't even get tested because they had such a shortage of test kits available that they were prioritizing and creating a hierarchy of who actually could get tested in Wayne County. And I didn't hit the list because I still was able to breathe relatively normally. Because I couldn't actually get tested, they told me to go home and self-isolate away from all of my family and everyone else. So that's what I did. I was stuck in my room for a full 7 to 8 days, I think. And here's how it went. Day one was pretty uneventful, but day two was pretty rough. I jumped into it getting really, really bad, and I was vomiting and sleeping all the time, and really my body just completely shut down. So after one day of being at the hospital or trying to go to the hospital, I had already nosedived into something awful. And it was only just the beginning. Day three. I've never felt so bad in my life. Like, seriously. This is like the flu on steroids. I'm so sorry for all the other people that have to deal with this, that have like worse things than me, like people that are in the hospital. Bro, I don't understand how the hospital turned me away. I'm so sick. Every time I cough, I can't breathe after. This needs to stop. Day four was another roller coaster where I started the day feeling really, really awful. And by that time, my sleeping schedule was completely ruined. So I was sleeping all weird, honestly. And by the end of the day, surprisingly, I felt okay. It felt like I was on the road to recovery. And it was great. And it was the first time that I was feeling not like absolute crap for the whole day. So I was really, really excited by the end of the day. But then came day 5. So it's day 5 of self-isolation. And I was feeling so great. Now I'm cold, and I'm tired, and my muscles ache. I'm nauseous. And I just want to be better. I'm on day 11 or 10, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of when I started getting sick. But I just want to be better. I'm so over this. It feels like it's breaking me. Day 6 was pretty uneventful as well. I was still running a fever. All of the symptoms that I had was still present. But, I realized that I was in university and my classes couldn't wait. So it was the first day that I actually got started on my homework in over 2 weeks. The next day was also pretty uneventful. I still felt awful, but I spent most of it asleep, honestly, and that continued for the next several days until day 10, where I was actually able to leave my self isolation. And by that point, I was pretty much done with being bored in my room. So, this is how I decided to spend my time. So, the next few weeks I spent pretty much just laying around, catching up on schoolwork, and trying to rest as much as possible. I also got really into arts and crafts, as you guys could see, but more than anything, I realized that it is super important to stay inside. And if you do have to go outside, wear the proper protection, because I didn't. And I went out once and I got sick. This isn't something that is easy to take care of and that will just go away. And I realize that I'm really lucky because I'm young and relatively healthy, and there are a lot of people who aren't. So please, please stay inside, stay safe, and practice as many of the measures given by the CDC and the World Health Organization and all the others that are dedicated to helping us stop COVID-19.